Welcome to Reviews That Scare with Jess and Blair. I'm Jess.
I'm Blair.
Blair, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Yourself?
Not gonna lie, pretty gassed.
Yeah. We had quite the weekend.
We certainly did. We just got back from our annual trek down to the Calgary Horror Convention, which we will be talking about in an upcoming bonus episode, which we're both very excited for.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a blast.
It was a lot of fun.
Very, very tired. I felt like this weekend, again, we'll talk about it in another episode. It flew by.
It flew by. Plus, you had to work today. You had to go back to work today, too.
Right back at it. You thought it was Sunday today. And you said, hey, do we want to record? And I said, I'm at work.
Yeah. It's like, sorry, bro.
Blairski, can you, one word to describe this weekend?
Oh, a lot of fun. Just fun.
Fun.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I agree. Fun. Yeah. Again, we'll talk more about it in our bonus episode. But until then, we are officially on to our third episode in the month of June, aka Attack of the Killer. What?
Attack of the Killer. What?
Attack of the Killer. What? And we have a much talked about, much laughed about, much eye rolled about film to talk about today. But before we do that, what do you say we chat a little bit about some horror news?
This is horror news.
Blairski, you got anything for horror news?
For those of you who have not yet seen Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, good news for you, as it will finally be released on Amazon Video on Demand June 26. So I don't think it's going to be streaming anywhere, but you can definitely rent or digitally buy it come June 26. If I do buy it, it would probably be a physical copy in a $5 Walmart bin. But
yeah, that would be maybe wait a little bit and get a physical copy. I'm excited to see what the bonus features are for that one.
Yeah, me too. I did enjoy that one better than the first. So I'll give it that much.
Yeah, there was obviously, we recorded a bonus episode on Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, and our issues with it. But I think all in all, we had a good time at the theater. It was a different experience all in all than the very first one in the series.
It was. The theater wasn't as lively or fun, but I feel like the experience wasn't as good in theater, but I feel like the movie itself was better. Yeah.
Agreed. And just knowing that there's going to be more coming out in this series, more to look forward to, I suppose.
There's going to be a bunch to look forward to, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Finally, this is my final thing. With the release of A Quiet Place Day 1 coming the end of the month, I got some more news regarding the franchise. As it's official, A Quiet Place will be one of the new haunted attractions this year at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights, which is pretty awesome. I could just imagine how cool that would be, man.
Oh, that's excellent. That is not where I thought you were going with that, but that is very, very cool.
Yeah, where did you think I was going? Do you have something else, Well,
also announced that A Quiet Place is being turned into a video game.
Yes, that is true. And do you have any more info on that? Because you've mentioned that to me, but I didn't look that up myself.
Not so much. I watched the trailer for it, and somebody made a comment about it, and it just like really hammered home how I was feeling about the game. But they said it looks and feels a lot like Alien Isolation.
Okay.
So obviously a survival horror, much like the movie, but it looks really good. It looks fun.
I'm gonna have to check that out. I haven't done that yet.
I can't remember the full name for it, but it's A Quiet Place something.
I saw it just briefly online somewhere, and I cannot remember the name of it either.
Yeah, I don't know if the trailer released. I feel like it released today or yesterday, within the last couple of days here.
It was definitely recent. But either way, Halloween Horror Nights, you went last year.
Loved it last year. Loved it. It was my first time last year. Went to the one in California, and it was, I mean, I would like to go back.
Oh, I would love to. Just
money. Especially like looking back at this past weekend we just had, and honestly, it was this weekend was the last time that I really thought about Evil Dead Rise since Halloween Horror Nights, and it just kind of opened up the floodgates of how much I enjoyed that aspect of Halloween Horror Nights. It was
Yeah.
fantastic.
You
Yeah,
couldn't talk enough about it when you came back.
it was the best part to me. It was the best part of Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, well, Quiet Place, I'm sure that will be a blast as well this year for anyone going.
Yeah, excellent franchise. Really excited for the movie and excited to maybe check out a couple videos of Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, me too, man.
Yeah. I've got one piece of horror news, and it's not there's not a whole lot to it, but it's official, Blair. We have a release date for the upcoming fourth film by Jordan Peele.
I saw that it's some point in 2026. Is that correct?
Yeah, so that's the thing. So no news as of yet of what the movie might be,
Yeah.
but just looking at the kind of the release timeline, we can just assume that it is going to be a horror movie, would be my guess.
Yeah, mine too.
Not just because of what he's already done with his first three films, but also with the release date being October 23rd, 2026.
Halloween season, man.
Halloween season, we obviously have a bit of time to wait, but I'm okay with that.
I am too.
Let him cook. Let him do his thing.
Yeah.
Let him do, the beautiful movies that he makes. But yeah, I'm hoping, again, they kind of threw out a red herring, or not even a red herring, but they were throwing out the idea that, it's maybe not even a horror movie. And who knows, maybe it's not. Maybe this is a distraction of a October 23rd date and it not being a horror movie at all.
I doubt it.
I mean, if you think about it, he is one of the masters of horror right now.
Mm,
And with that October 23rd release date, it's got to be, right?
I'd think so. I'd think so, man.
Maybe we're reading too much into it.
Yeah, probably.
We think so. And not only that, but we hope so.
Yeah.
Just with what he's done with the genre in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
If that, I'm excited.
If that.
Always excited to see what he does next.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's all I have for horror news. What do you say we jump into this week's episode? The third episode of Attack of the Killer month goes to 2010's Rubber. Runtime on this one, 1 hour, 22 minutes, Blairski.
Yeah.
Initial thoughts on the runtime.
In the grand scheme of things of a runtime, it's perfect. But for this
Mhm.
movie, it's about 85 minutes too long.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I thought, I saw that hour and 22-minute spot and I was like, oh, this is great. You and I both watched it separately well at HorrorCon.
Yeah.
And now, again, we'll get into it in likes and dislikes, but looking back at it, there is so many more other things I would rather have been doing at Calgary HorrorCon than watching
this.
2010's Rubber.
Yeah, me too, man.
1 hour, 22 minutes. Okay, fun facts.
Fun facts. Facts that are fun.
Blairski, you got any fun facts for 2010's Rubber?
The movement of the tire was all practical. Lots of the movement done was via remote control with the mechanics hidden inside the tire. Originally, this movie was filmed with all the head explosions, also practical, but the director was unhappy with the results. So what we get in the final cut with all the head explosions, it is all CGI, unfortunately. I know. My final fun fact for this film is the Disney movie WALL-E was drawn as an influence for this movie, especially the character WALL-E was a direct influence to how they wanted the tire to act.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, big Pixar fan, I don't remember anyone's head exploding in Pixar's WALL-E.
No.
And I could be
no head
wrong.
explosions, no.
I don't think I'm wrong. I recently, within the last 2 months, have rewatched it, and yeah, unless it was like director's cut deleted scenes, but Pixar would have taken a dark turn.
I think it's basically what they're going for with that is WALL-E, the character's kind of dumbed down. He almost seems like a lost pup sort of ways. And
Totally.
they wanted the tire to kind of portray that as well. But yeah, definitely no head explosions in Pixar and Disney's WALL-E.
I get that idea as well with the movement
Yeah.
of the tire, and not only that, but the tire kind of occupying a deserted wasteland as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Kind of that desert scene. There's not a whole lot else that he's dealing with. But but yeah. Ugh. I got a couple fun facts here. Shot in 14 days.
Not surprised.
Relatively short timeline for that. And then the script was written in 1 month, which is like, can be a great thing, can be a bad thing. Clearly, if you write something, I'm just, again, trying to justify myself currently writing something, and trying to do it not in a month, but in, a short amount of time kind of thing.
Time
And
crunch,
sometimes,
man.
and sometimes you get inspiration in a month, and
Yeah.
sometimes you get inspiration in a week, and sometimes you get inspiration in a day, and it all pays off.
Yeah.
This one felt like it maybe needed a rewrite or two.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Again, we're jumping ahead of our schedule. We'll get into likes and dislikes momentarily. Before we do that, let's chat about the folks who worked on this film. Directed by Quentin Dupuis, also directed 2012's Wrong, 2014's Reality, and 2022's Smoking Causes Coughing, which it most certainly does.
Sure does, yeah.
No truer words have ever been spoken. Now, in the opening credits, we obviously come to the realization that Quentin Dupuis did most everything as far as post-production goes and pre-production goes for this movie, whether it be writing, directing. I think he did the score. I think he edited.
He did all the editing, yeah.
He did it all. So, I mean, props to Quentin Dupuis for that, because that's pretty impressive.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah. Like I just mentioned, written by Quentin Dupuis, also wrote 2024's The Second Act, 2023's Yannick, 2020's Mandibles, and 2019's Deerskin, just to name a few. He is a pretty busy creator, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Starring Stephen Spinella as Lieutenant Chad. Great name, Lieutenant Chad.
Yeah, it is. Also
starred in 2019's Bad Education, 2012's Lincoln, 4 episodes of the TV show The Nick, 1995's Virtuosity, and in guest roles on numerous TV shows such as Ed, Frasier, Alias, Will and Grace, Grey's Anatomy, 24, Heroes, Nip Tuck. The list goes on. I mean, you look at some of those shows and it's like from the late 90s to the mid 2000s. I mean, those are huge shows. 24, Heroes, Grey's Anatomy.
I remember Frasier being pretty big growing up.
Frasier, Will and Grace. Like those are some massive, massive shows. Also starring Roxanne Mesquida. I apologize, I butchered that name, as Sheila. Also starring 2010's Kaboom, 2004's The Great Journey, 2012's Kiss of the Damned, 2017's Mercury in Retrograde, 10 episodes of Now Apocalypse, and 2018's Burning Shadow. Also starring Wings Hauser as Man in the Wheelchair.
Yeah.
I don't know if he has an actual name in this. I
don't think he does, man. I don't think
the character's name. Man in the Wheelchair also starred in 14 episodes of The Young and the Restless, one of Blair's personal favorites as far as daytime television goes. Starred in a few episodes of The A-Team, The Last Precinct, and Walker, Texas Ranger, and also starred in 1994's Watchers 3. And then finally, Jack Plotnick as accountant, also starred in 15 episodes of Reno 911. Excellent show.
Yes, it is.
8 episodes of Grace and Frankie. Blairski, 4 episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Okay, right on.
Where he played Deputy Mayor Alan Finch. I don't know if you remember that character.
Do not, no.
As Zach in 1997's Chairman of the Board, which is a movie starring Carrot Top. And as Mr. Pups in 1999's Mystery Men, which is an underrated movie. Synopsis for 2010's Rubber, courtesy of our dear friends at IMDb. A homicidal car... Rewind. A homicidal car tire, discovering it has destructive psionic power, sets its sights on a desert town once a mysterious woman becomes its obsession. I made up a word in there because I didn't know how to pronounce it, but we'll go with it.
You did fine.
Great. Yeah. Cool synopsis.
I liked it. I liked it a lot better than the movie itself.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit deceiving.
A little bit.
I don't think it's as straightforward as the synopsis makes it out to be.
No, not at all.
It is certainly a lot more confusing than that sentence.
Yeah, I would agree.
Again, we'll get into it, but before we get into it, what do you say we chat about kill count?
Kill count. The time of the show we count the kills.
Blairski, do we have a kill count for 2010's Rubber?
Yeah, we do. We have a total of 36 victims between the tire and the accountant. 32 human victims plus 4 animals met their demise. I saw a list online that actually counted the tire's death. I'm not going to do that. So yeah, total kill count of 36.
Which is, I mean, it's a relatively high kill count.
It is pretty high, yeah.
Unfortunately, the majority of them are pretty boring. I think this is a perfect segue into likes and dislikes.
Likes, dislikes, likes, dislikes,
and everything in between. The portion of the show where we talk about what we liked, what we didn't like, and everything in between. Blairski,
Yeah,
these
buddy.
kills in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the first one was good. The first human death was good. Head explosion was pretty awesome.
Yep.
The unfortunate part of that is every single kill after that is the exact same thing. It's all the exact same thing.
Yeah, I mean, you said, into the high 30s for kill count, and by the third or fourth kill, it already starts getting boring.
Yeah.
Okay, we've seen this. And even Blair and I were brainstorming this weekend of how they could have been a little bit more creative with the kills.
Yeah, you can you're a tire. You can run people down. You can stomp on their head. Till it just
Bludgeon people.
explodes, or-
Yeah.
There's way other things. And the way these people's heads are exploding, it's psychokinetic. So the tire will kind of turn itself towards its victim, shake a bit, creating the psychokinetic energy, and then all of a sudden the victim's head will explode. That's it. That's all that happens for every single kill, other than the people that the accountant kills, in which case all he does with that is poison them.
Yeah.
So,
I think, I don't know. I think they really should have leaned more into, and it's certainly not a slasher movie. Certainly didn't feel like a slasher movie.
no.
But I wonder if it would have been more interesting if they kind of modeled the tire after kind of a traditional slasher, where obviously you look at somebody like Leatherface and everybody knows him for, using the chainsaw, but it's not the only weapon he uses. Same thing with, Michael Myers or Jason,
Yeah.
Jason with the machete. Well, that's kind of the one that we imagine most, but it's certainly not the only one he uses.
No, he uses a spear. He uses his hands.
Yeah, so maybe it's like the psychokinetic is like the one that we remember, but then in the movie there's also a whole bunch of creative kills.
If only.
I mean, it's just disappointing that the kill count was so high in this movie,
Yeah.
and the kills felt so uncreative.
Yeah, they were.
At
They
least
were just
after
all
the
the
first
same.
three, they were. It
Yeah.
was just a little bit boring. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that being said, I thought the intro to this movie was good.
I liked watching the tire kind of learn to move and learn how to kill. First, starting with crushing plastic bottles to glass bottles to killing animals. I did enjoy that whole little bit.
Totally, and it adds character. Even just the tire waking up in the desert, or the tire almost learning how to walk again. It gives character to the tire.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I feel like they kind of just could have done so much more with the personality of the tire.
Yeah.
It's so weird to be saying those words, the personality of a tire. And it's, how do you make a tire come to life?
Yeah, right. Well, that
it's-
was probably the problem they were having with making this movie.
100%. And I think, even going further back before the tires waking up, the beginning intro with the Lieutenant Chad coming up
Yeah.
and just saying, like, the whole idea is of no reason. all great films contain an important element of no reason. And
Yeah.
of course, I hate that they, comment all great films, because this is, not that. And I hate shitting on it, but it's just, I do like the idea. Life is filled with no reason. So right off the bat, it sets you up with the whole, okay, don't question the movie.
Yeah.
Or at least don't question it too much. It's, it's going to be light. It's going to be about a killer tire, and that's fine. And, anytime, a portion of the movie, you start overthinking things, or, oh, this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. The whole, it's happening and there's no reason behind it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh yeah. And it's like, that's fine for the first little bit. But then I kind of felt a little bit ripped off.
Yeah.
Like I kind of felt a little bit stupid.
Yeah. I have that written
There's
down.
got to be a reason for it. Like, give me some kind of answers. It felt like a cop out.
That's exactly what I was about to say. So while watching that explanation at the beginning, I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was unique and kind of cool. But as the movie kept going, that whole explanation at the beginning seemed more and more like a cop out to me, was the exact words.
As the movie goes, there's just so many questions in this movie that go unanswered.
Yeah.
And they go unanswered because of that whole, well, no reason. It's happening because of no reason. And it's like, bullshit. That is such like a bullshit response to it. And I get like the beginning and like the whole introduction. The whole movie is more or less based around a movie within a movie. The movie being the spectators watching this tire do its thing.
With binoculars in a desert starving themselves to death. I don't really get that either, though.
No, but of course, the response to that is no reason.
Yeah.
Which is just like, well, then why put it in the movie?
Good point.
Like, if anything, I think this could have been, and maybe it was conceived that way. I think this movie could have been a really, really, really cool 10-minute movie.
Yeah, 100%. Like one of the shorts we'd see at the HorrorCon.
It would have been a really great short.
Yeah.
And it sucks that it was an hour and 22 minutes, which is really, really short for a feature. And it just kind of stunk.
Yeah, man.
I
would
don't
totally
know.
agree. I would totally agree. The set was cool. I did like the desert set. There were very cool shots. So the cinematography I found was really cool in this movie.
Yeah.
Those are really the only positives, man, other than the first couple kills that I can say about this movie. I found this movie very boring and confusing, to be honest with you, man.
Yeah, I just feel, again, they had so much left unanswered. I thought they introduced, first of all, there's way too many characters in this movie.
Yeah.
And I think there's so many characters in this movie that are so underdeveloped. And it's like, no, I wouldn't mind knowing a bit more about the accountant. Who's the accountant?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Or who's Sheila? Like, who are these people?
Yeah. Why?
Instead, they just wasted so much time with this kind of meta group of people watching this tire while also being poisoned with turkey. I don't get it.
Again, why are all those people there? Why?
No reason.
I don't know.
No reason. The answer is no reason.
That's so bad.
It was chaotic. It was bizarre. It left me feeling like an idiot. Why don't I get this? Whatever. But going back, I thought the physics behind the tire was really cool.
It was cool.
Enjoyed the movement. I did enjoy, the bits of the tire where they did make it feel or seem a bit more human.
Yeah.
It had a bit of character. I just wish they would have done a little bit more.
I do like how when the tire's watching TV, it's watching NASCAR.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought that was great. Yeah. I don't even, I hate crapping on this one because
you know what? There are people out there. I was reading, man, people out there love this movie.
And that's wicked. And I love the idea of this movie.
Yeah.
Just because it is so chaotic and over the top. I think that's great. And if you love this movie, I think that's awesome. And I'm glad that you could find something in this movie that you love so much. I think that's great. I thought it stunk.
Yeah, you and me both.
It was just everything. It made me feel like a rube. Like I was getting played at the at the country fair, you know. I was spending a bunch of this money well knowing that I was not going to win a prize at the knock down the bottles with the softball.
Yeah, yeah.
I you know, I'm knowing that. But then again, I mean, at the end of the day, and it's so funny that I'm getting so frustrated over this movie. This movie is about a killer tire.
Yeah, I know. You can't think too much into it.
Even
You
just
think
the
you're just mad you wasted an hour and 20 minutes at the horror con watching.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's like the only person to blame is myself. And it's like, I think, and I did think that I went into it with an open mind, but it just, I don't know. I mean, I wrote down here. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say, you can also blame me because I'm the one who picked this movie.
No, but I mean, this is one, like you were saying, like the people who love this movie love this movie.
Yeah, they do.
And I mean, even on IMDb, even on Rotten Tomatoes, like I think it has a pretty decent score. I think it has like a 6 out of 10
Yeah.
on Rotten Tomato or on IMDb. I make of it what you will, you know, but I mean, 6 out of 10 is not bad.
Better than half. It's better than the 50 mark.
That's right. I mean, I wrote down here the script was not grand. People don't talk that way. The acting was over the top. I mean, I hate to dive too much into this because I hate completely shitting on something, but I don't know.
Man, I've already talked about everything I've written down about it. That was the thing. I just didn't even have much to say about this movie.
Yeah, it was just a bit disappointing. Not even a bit disappointing. This movie was disappointing.
Yeah, I agree.
and the ending was just, beyond frustrating.
Yeah, very annoying.
I'm gonna stop. Let's move on. Let's
Yeah.
get on back on track to the funny stuff here. We're done with likes and dislikes. This leads to one of our favorite segments of the show, which is the lessons we learned from watching 2010's Rubber.
Lessons we learned from watching. Insert title of movie here.
The segment of the show where we talk about the valuable life lessons we learned from watching said movie. Blairski,
Yeah, buddy.
while watching 2010's Rubber, did you learn a single darn thing?
Yeah, I did actually. 2 things.
Excellent.
First, I learned tires don't float without the inner tube installed.
Yeah,
They'll just sink right to the bottom.
yeah.
The final thing I learned is don't treat your kids like crap, period. But definitely don't treat them like crap. Then ask them to go get you a pizza.
Yeah.
You never know what kind of extra toppings they will put on it before they give it to you.
Roadkill pizza.
Yeah, no kidding.
But also, I mean, check your pizza.
Yeah, you got to check.
If you're eating roadkill pizza, that's on you, man. What did I learn here? Filming a film is forbidden by law. They'll put you in jail for being a pirate and not a cool pirate with an eye patch. Check your tires, folks. They might be flat. The treads might be worn, or they might be on a murderous rampage. So check your tires. That's all I have for lessons we learned. Moving right along to Line of the Night.
Line of the night. Line of the night. Line of the night. Line of the night. Line of the night. Line of the night. Line of the night. Line of the night. Line of the night.
The segment of the show where we discuss our favorite lines from the movie. They might give us chills. They might give us the giggles. All we know is that they are our favorites. Blairski.
Yeah, buddy.
Do you have a favorite line of the night?
Well, I've got 3 written down, but as
Yeah.
you already said, the script wasn't that great in this movie. First line by Shayla, "You are nothing but rubber shit." The next one was by Zach. While he's putting exploded bird entrails on his father's pizza, he goes, "Here's your double topping, dickhead," which I thought was great.
Yep.
A man in wheelchair says, "Hey, wait, it's not the end. He's been reincarnated as a tricycle."
Yeah, spoiler alert, the tire is reincarnated as a tricycle.
Yes, it is.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
No reason.
No reason.
All right, I got a couple lines here. One of the viewers of the tire, I guess one of the people looking through the binoculars says, "This is the first time in my life I've identified with a tire." And this is after he's watched the tire, I guess, being a peeping Tom
Yeah.
with our lead actress getting into the shower.
Yeah, looking at her
Yeah.
through the window.
Yeah.
Or the open door or something like that.
The wheelchair guy says, "How long until humans start eating each other out of hunger?" Good question.
Yeah.
What would you be your guess, Blair? How long would it take?
going to cannibalism?
Yeah.
Hunger? I don't know. Probably 2 weeks, but I have no idea.
2 weeks.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
Man's got
as long as you have water, right? I don't know.
I suppose that's right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the logistics behind
No,
it.
me neither.
I don't know what kind of seasoning you have. I don't know. I've got one more here. Chad, Lieutenant Chad says, "Stop acting like this is real life." Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where the movie, I was going to say this is where the movie takes a really weird left turn, but I think it happens well before
I was
that.
about to say it was before that.
Honestly, I think the cop car coming and driving in and zigzagging and knocking over the chairs, and then the group of people showing up. I think that's maybe where it takes a left turn. And that happens in the first 2 minutes. Yeah. Okay, this leads us to our final segment of the show. Some might say it's even our favorite.
Some might, yes, sir.
Top 5. Celebrity lookalike time.
Celebrity lookalike time.
The time of the show where we take a look at the cast and discuss their celebrity doppelgangers. Spoiler alert, it usually comes down to the character's hairstyle. Blairski,
Yeah, buddy.
what do you got for celebrity lookalike time?
Just a couple here. The accountant reminded me of Bruce Abbott, who plays Dan Kane in Reanimator.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, 100% really look like him.
It's the glasses and the hair.
The glasses are there for sure. Lastly, this one's way out there, but Robert as the tricycle reminded me of the tricycle used by Danny in The Shining.
Okay.
It was red, it was smoked, it was short.
Oh,
Looked just
goodness.
like it.
Oh, goodness. I have old guy in the pickup truck. Do you remember the old guy in the pickup truck?
I do remember the old guy in the
Who
pickup
gets his
truck,
head
actually.
exploded?
Yeah.
Reminded me of Harrison Ford.
Okay.
And I think it was the cool sunglasses.
Yeah, probably.
And maybe does Harrison Ford, I feel like Harrison Ford nowadays wears all denim.
Nowadays.
Denim and
he always-
sunglasses. Perhaps he always did. We'll have to look into that. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was the cool sunglasses. And then finally, Blairski, I think you'll like this one. The accountant reminded me of the character Dwight Schrute from the hit TV show
The Office.
The Office.
I do like that.
Again, it's the hair, it's
And the
it's
glasses.
the glasses for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Okay, this leads to our final rating for 2010's Rubber.
Mhm.
Blairski, out of 5 psychokinetic tires reincarnated as a weather-worn tricycle out of 5, what are you giving Rubber?
I think the only movie I've rated lower than this was Ginger Dead Man, to be honest with you.
Starring a young Gary Busey.
Yes, sir. I'm going to be giving 2010's Rubber 1 psychokinetic tires reincarnated as a weather-worn tricycle out of 5.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. 1 psychokinetic tire reincarnated as a weather-worn tricycle out of 5. I think the only redeeming thing this has was the cool head explosions that I can't believe I'm saying this. There were too many of them.
There were. That's the thing. That's all. The only way the tire killed anybody was
Yeah.
the head explosion. So
Props on the head explosions and props on, I guess, the movement of the tire and how they rigged that up with the, remote controls and things like that. But besides this, I mean, it does not have a whole lot going for it.
no, I would agree.
I'm sorry to all those folks out there that enjoy this movie, but
No, I'm sure there's movies that me and you love that
No, thanks.
that other people hate too. So it's the great thing about movies, man. People will love them, people will hate them, other people will hate them, and other people will love them.
that's just the way it is.
Yeah, buddy.
Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. This has been fun to chat about.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to us rant and to express our disgust
Yeah.
at a tire. That poor tire, that poor psychokinetic tire. We have one more episode in our month of June, aka Attack the Killer What month? And it's going to be a great end to the month. We have our watch party.
Yeah, we're going to have a watch party for this one.
Yeah. And we also have our bonus episode, kind of recapping what went on during Calgary HorrorCon, which we're both very excited to chat about. But until then, this has been Review Set Scare with Jess and Blair. I'm Jess.
I'm Blair. Remember to stay scary.
And eat every sandwich. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening to Review Set Scare. Make sure you check out our Linktree at linktree/reviewsetscare. That's linktr.ee/reviewsetscare, which has links to our Instagram, YouTube, Patreon, Twitch, and many other things. If you'd like to email us, you can reach us at reviewsetscare@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and remember to stay scary and eat every sandwich. A proud member of Pod Nation TV.